What is up, guys? Delboy here. I wanted to make a quick prediction video for Lenroy Thomas versus Dave Allen, the rematch. This fight goes down on the undercard of Kell Brook versus Sergei Rabchenko. These guys originally fought back in May 2017 on the undercard of Kell Brook versus Errol Spence Jr. and Lenroy Thomas won the fight by a split decision. I've got to say, at the time I felt a split decision kind of flattered Dave Allen, to be completely honest. I felt Lenroy Thomas won a competitive fight, but it should not have been a split decision as far as I'm concerned. I felt Thomas was the more active guy, he was more consistent with his jab. Defensively, he was the better fighter, and overall he done enough to win the fight, in my opinion. You know, Dave Allen, although he was the aggressor for the most part, he was very ineffective. Smothered his own work, didn't let his hands go enough, and was outboxed in certain stretches of a fight. So in the first fight, I felt Lenroy Thomas won a clear but competitive fight. And it wasn't a great fight, let's be honest about it, the first fight. So the fact that Dave Allen is getting this rematch, I've got to say, he is very fortunate because, like I said, the first fight was not entertaining at all. So Dave Allen really needs to make the most of this opportunity. Dave Allen, listen, he's never going to be a world champion, but a lot of people are interested. A lot of people are invested in his journey because he seems like a genuine guy. He's humble. He is a humorous type of person. So a lot of people are just rooting for him to do well. And I do like him as well. I think he is he's a character. He's someone different. So I would like to see him do well also, but this is, I wouldn't say it's last chance saloon because he's only in his mid-20s. Even if he loses this fight, he could potentially come back to domestic level and after rebuilding. But it'd be a big blow losing this fight. This fight really is a must-win. And do I think he can win the fight? Yes, I do. The first fight was competitive, but I felt Thomas clearly outboxed Dave Allen. However, Dave Allen in the first fight was in terrible shape. He was in awful shape. And this time around, from looking at his social media, he has trained hard. He's lost a lot of excess weight. He looks in really good shape. And from the training footage I've seen, he looks pretty sharp, which is a good thing. We've never really seen a Dave Allen who is in good shape compete in the ring. You know, Dave Allen always carried a few extra pounds. He was always a little bit chunky without ever being fat, but he was always a little worse for wear in terms of his conditioning. But now he seems to have sorted that out and he's been training hard and he's had a full camp. A lot of these fights he's had in the past, he's not had a full camp. So we've got to take that into account. Dave Allen is going to be in much better shape this time around, which is a good thing. But the thing is, you'd also have to state that Lenroy Thomas is also going to be in better condition because he didn't really get a full camp last time either. And this time he's had a full camp. He's known about this fight for a long time. He's had a lot of time to prepare for it. So he's going to be in good shape. He was in good shape last time without a full camp. So I'm sure he's going to be in good shape this time. Not only that, last time, for the last fight, he arrived in the UK very late. I believe he arrived in the UK the day before the fight last time. You know, on the day of the weigh-in. So this time he's actually already arrived in the UK. So he's arrived a lot earlier. He's had a longer camp. So when you look at both guys can't really use the excuse that they've had bad preparations. Both guys have had a lot of time. Both guys look in good shape. So that's a good thing. You know, no excuses. In regards to the technical side of things, Lenroy Thomas, he is what he is really. He's a guy who likes to use his feet. He'll like to use that right hand jab and try to make the most of his southpaw stance. He'll use that right hand jab and look for that straight left hand behind it. And that's his style really. He likes to move. He likes to stay on the outside and pop the jab and go for that 1-2. Try to point score, tries to outbox you, tries to maintain a distance with his feet. And he can do that at a certain level. When he stepped up, he's been beat. But at a certain level, like Commonwealth level, he can pull that style off and have some success, as we saw against Dave Allen last time around. But anybody above that level is gonna beat Lenroy Thomas. He's no like Sugar Ray Leonard. He's no Vasyl Lomachenko. He's not like a master boxer. He's just a guy who likes to get on his bicycle, pop his jab, and use that straight left hand. Apart from that, he doesn't really vary his work that much. Sometimes he'll come in with a lead uppercut, and sometimes he'll throw like a 3-punch or 4-punch combination, just a quick burst to try and point score. But he's your typical outboxer. He's pretty limited. He basically relies on the jab and the straight left. But what he does is effective at a certain level. Dave Allen, to me, last time, a lot of his mistakes were, first and foremost, he wasn't active enough, especially with the jab. And not only that, when he got close, when he did try to get some work done, he was guilty of smothering his own work. And the bad thing about that was, or the frustrating thing about that was, when Dave Allen actually got close and actually did land on the target, he did look. It looked like he actually kind of troubled Lenroy Thomas. He made him really uncomfortable. There were a few times when Lenroy Thomas looked uncomfortable in that fight, and you just had in the back of your mind, if Dave Allen could get a few shots on target and he could sustain a bit of pressure, then Lenroy Thomas was always on the verge of maybe even being stopped, in a sense where he didn't look like a guy who would handle it well when the pressure really, really heated up, kind of thing. But Dave Allen never really got Lenroy Thomas in that position. There was only a few times when he made him feel uncomfortable. So the thing is, this time around, he needs to get into those positions where he can make Lenroy Thomas feel uncomfortable. So he's going to be the aggressor, we know that. But this time around, Dave Allen, instead of plodding, instead of coming forward with no head movement, move your head a little bit. Try and feint. Try and keep Lenroy Thomas off balance. Try and keep Lenroy Thomas a little bit more cautious in regards to throwing his jab. Try and confuse Lenroy Thomas, because last time all he was doing was walking forward and just trying to barge through Lenroy Thomas without doing any subtle techniques. You know, try and jab your way in. Try and feint. Try and draw Lenroy Thomas's lead. You know, you can be a counterpuncher on the front foot. It's a hard skill to master, but try it. You know, Lenroy Thomas is no defensive genius. He really isn't. You know, try some different things. Be a bit more creative on the front foot. Feint, jab your way in. You know, try and draw Lenroy Thomas's lead on the front while you're on the front foot. And when you've got Lenroy on the ropes, because there were numerous times he had him on the ropes in the first fight, instead of just getting up to his chest and trying to wail away, try and maintain a bit of distance. Jab to the body, come over the top of a right hand. You know, Dave Allen really needs to make an effort not to smother his work, because that was his main error last time around, as well as not letting his hands go enough in general. But when he did, you know, he was in bad positions and he was just smothering his work, and the work wasn't effective. So this time around, on the front foot, you need to be more, you know, you need to use your jab a bit more. You know, pop that jab, try and work your way in, feint here and there. You know, try and draw Lenroy Thomas's lead. When he's on the ropes, don't just sort of walk in and smother yourself. Try and, like I said, try and set things up. Try and maintain your distance. Like I said, jab to the body, right hand over the top, follow through with a left hook, things of that nature. You know, and don't be shy to work the body when Lenroy is on the ropes. That was another thing Dave Allen did not do enough of last time around. He didn't work Lenroy Thomas's body when he was on the ropes, and that's something pressure fighters should do. Dave Allen is going to fight this fight as a pressure fighter. He's not going to box with Lenroy Thomas, so he needs to work that body to try and slow Thomas down, to try and slow his legs down. I think this fight is quite intriguing. The first fight was dull, but it doesn't necessarily mean the second fight is going to be dull. How do I have it? I have it as a 50-50 fight, just because Dave Allen is in much better shape, and he seems to be taking it a lot more seriously. So I do have it as a 50-50 fight. I feel that Lenroy Thomas does have better technique. He has got quicker hands. He is the better natural boxer. He's a southpaw. But I do feel Dave Allen's pressure could cause Lenroy Thomas a few issues, because it did last time, you know. And that was an out-of-shape Dave Allen. Lenroy Thomas was in much better shape than Dave Allen last time around. This time, Dave Allen is going to be in good shape. Theoretically, his gas tank's going to be better. You know, his output's going to be higher. You know, this is a must win. You know, the desire surely is going to be through the roof. If I have to pick a winner, I would probably just about edge towards Dave Allen, because first and foremost, if it's a close fight, you know, is it going to go to Lenroy Thomas? I know Lenroy Thomas got the first fight, but I felt that Lenroy Thomas clearly won that fight and it was a split decision. So if this fight is close, you'd imagine it's going to go to Dave Allen. But I do feel Dave Allen will make improvements in this fight. I think the penny has finally dropped, and he realises he needs to pull out a big performance. And I feel this could be it. Might be scrappy, it might be messy, but I just feel he'll get the wins one way or another. I'm going to go with a Dave Allen points win. What do you guys think? Peace.